Shalom Aleichem, in Zeit begrüßt. Bonjour et bienvenue. Welcome and hello to the Digital Intensive, the opening part of KlezKanada's 27th annual summer retreat. The Digital Intensive takes place this year, July 30th to August 1st, 2022. My name is Sebastian Schulman, and I am the Executive Director of KlezKanada. I am broadcasting to you from KlezKanada's home city of Montreal, which is located on the traditional and unceded territory of the Gunyan-Gahaga or Mohawk people. And let us remember as we gather together these days to celebrate a language and culture that many of us are choosing to reclaim, choosing to create and live in, that we should work for a world where all peoples have the same rights and privileges to use their own languages, live in their own cultures, and on their own land. There is a trope in Yiddish culture that if you do something 3 times in a row, it becomes a minig, a communal custom, an entrenched part of your local practice and culture. This is now the 3rd time we are doing an immersive communal online program. From the experience of doing these online programs, we have learned that doing things digitally plays a crucial role in our community. It keeps us together when we're apart. It keeps us safe. It keeps us healthy. It allows new people to enter our community who would never have had the chance to connect before. It allows old friends to connect in new ways. In short, even as we move slowly back to in-person programming, the digital, in some way, is a part of who we are and is here to stay. So as we learn today about some of the things we're going to see, some of the ways that we can help you have a really wonderful experience online with us, it's my privilege just to say thank you before we get down into the details. Thank you to all of the people that really make what you're going to experience possible. So I will start off thanking our incredibly devoted board of directors, especially our management committee, and Hy and Sandy Goldman, who together with activists such as Jack Wolofsky and Sarah Rosenfeld founded KlezKanada almost 30 years ago. I'd like to thank our donors at every level who make our work possible. I'd like to thank our faculty and our artists, our hardworking people that you will see on the stage and in the classroom this week. I'd like to thank all of our partner organizations who help us in so many different ways. I'd like to thank all of our volunteers, especially our Zoom hosts, who you will get to meet and get to know very well over the next couple of days. And I'd like to thank our amazing organizing team. And these folks, you're not going to see very much because they spend most of their time behind the scenes. So I am going to name them all. We have 3 small teams that make up the organizing committee. That's our home office team, which is Asa Brune-Jailly, Gili Loftus, Joanna Britton, and Dan Kunda-Thagard, who is one of this year's Freed Fellows. Our programming team, which is Christian David, Uri Schretter, and Zoe Aqua, and our tech team, which is Bob Blacksburg, Peter Horowitz, another one of our Freed Fellows, and Noah Guthman. And I'd also like to thank, and perhaps most importantly, you. Yes, you, our community. You are who we are. That is what KlezKanada is. KlezKanada is the people who come to the programs. You're not an audience. You are what makes this happen. You are our greatest asset, our greatest strength. You are who we are. So Ashenim Dank, thank you. And last but certainly not least, it is my incredible privilege. It's a kuvit and a fargenig, and an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to introduce the fearless, the thoughtful, the endlessly creative Avia Moore, my dear friend and colleague. And it's not just a privilege to introduce Avia it is a privilege to introduce a VIA at any time, but really right now, this is really a highlight for me because I'm introducing a VIA as your artistic director for the very first time at KlezKanada's retreat. So a Shane Dank to you all, a Shane Dank VIA. I pass it over to you.
A Dank, Sebastian. Thank you. So welcome everyone to KlezKanada's 2022 summer programs. Here we go. As Sebastian said, I'm Avia Moore and I'm the incoming new artistic director for KlezKanada. It's such an honor to step into the role of AD at KlezKanada. And while this is my first summer as artistic director, many of you know that I've been part of KlezKanada for many, many years. And I'm very grateful for this team and the teams that we've had over the years, the teams as they've evolved. What a privilege to work with such wonderful people. This year, this team has produced not one, but 2 festivals. And this digital intensive opens our summer programming with faculty and participants zooming in from 4 continents, which is pretty amazing and maybe a record for us. So here's a couple of notes that I want to leave you with as we start. Concerts. These are things I'm particularly excited about. We have 3 digital concerts this year, filmed in 3 different countries. Opening our summer program will be Frank London and Marilyn Lerner's Neshoma. Neshoma takes as its source material that's original and traditional Yiddish mystical music, Nigunim Chazonis, as focused through the lens of the spiritual jazz tradition. This concert will open our program on Shabbos, but after Havdole, so Saturday, July 30th, after Havdole. Then on Sunday, we'll travel to Sweden for a concert of Ida Gilner's Stolze Lieder. Ida and Livette Nord will perform a concert full of poetry, original music, and engaged storytelling. And on Monday, we'll come back to Montreal for a kitchen party with klezmer, Quebecois, and Irish tunes all around a kitchen table. We'll hope you'll cook for yourself a meal at our cooking classes and join us in your own kitchen for an international cross-kitchen party. So that's our concerts. Another major focus for us this year has been cantorial programming, and we have a cantorial summit at this digital intensive. So there's programs from Jeff Warshauer, Ariane Brown, Mark Kligman, Becky Kittrick, and Heather Batchelor. These come together to form a virtual summit of workshops, talks, discussions. And you don't need to be a cantor to join the summit. There are workshops for musicians, those interested in history, and the cantorial curious among you as well. We have 2 ASL programs this year, 2 programs that are interpreted by ASL interpreters. That's Sonia Gallants and Michael Wex. So we encourage you to take advantage of these lectures that provide accessibility to our community. And we have 3 late night programs as well. These are an ever popular portion of our both in-person and digital events. So first, and brand new for us this year, we invite you to tune into a virtual cinema and time traveling tour with David Wiegans and Ari Lewis Wiegans at our Retro Kino on Saturday night. And then on Sunday, our world famous Klez Cabaret returns, hosted by the ever unpredictable and always fabulous Shane Baker and Rachel Weston. And closing out the digital intensive will be our literary salon, which is a participatory event with poems, stories, plays, and beyond, hosted by our executive director, Sebastian Schulman, who you just met, and one of our Freed Fellows for 2022, Annie Cohen. When you register for the cabaret or literary salon, you'll get a sign-up form in your Eventbrite confirmation. So please remember that you can still, and you still should, register for classes and concerts and other programs. You can register one by one, class by class, or you can register for a pass for a full day or for the full program.
Hi, everyone. My name is Zoe Aqua, and I'm the coordinator this year for the Azrieli Scholarship Program. This is one of our core programs at KlezKanada, and it's really central to all that we do. Many of our scholarship participants go on to be fellows, faculty, and are teaching and performing and building community all over the world. So our scholarship participants are going to be involved in both the digital and in-person programming. And I wanted to invite all of the scholarship students to come to an online picnic table meet and greet sort of event. It will be Thursday, August 28th at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And it's a chance for us to get to know each other and familiarize ourselves with each other a little bit before arriving at the in-person retreat if you are attending the in-person retreat. But this is for all scholarship students, regardless of if you're attending the digital intensive or the in-person retreat. So I really hope to see all the scholarship students there. It is optional, but I encourage you to come. And lastly, we wanted to express our heartfelt thanks to the Azrieli Foundation for their incredible multi-year support of this scholarship program, which would not be possible without them. If you are a scholarship student and you have any questions at all, please email me at klezkanada.scholarships@gmail.com. Thanks.
All right, I am going to hand this off to our programming team. And first off, our music programs coordinator, Christian David.
Hello, thank you, Avia. Yes, I'm Christian and I arrived at Weimar, Germany just a bit before Zoe, so I can be here today. But I have just a few things for you, really. One is if you find that the class you signed up for is really not for you and you would like to switch, there are two different ways you can do this. If you hold an a la carte ticket, please just write to us at info@klezkanada.org and we'll take care of it. If you're a pass holder, it's easier. You can just go to the pass pages on our website and just click on the respective Zoom sign up link, and that should just work like that. If it doesn't, you can still write to us at info@klezkanada.org and we'll help you with that. In classes, especially in music classes, please be aware that you will be muted most of the time as a participant, unless the host or teacher asks you to unmute yourself. Please also keep in mind that speaking for our teachers, it's a lot easier to teach if we see you in class, right? So please use the video. If you're not comfortable doing that, that's totally fine. We respect that. Maybe just show your face at the beginning of a session so that we know who you are. That was it already from me, and I'll pass it on to our multidisciplinary workshop coordinator, Uri Schrader.
Yes, thank you very much,
Uri.
Christian. Hi everyone. I'm Uri. I am the multidisciplinary coordinator. I love this title and I'm doing it this year. I'm very excited to be on the team and to meet you all. I hope to get to chat with many of you over the next few days. I'll just say a few quick notes about your Zoom links and the course materials. So first, the Zoom links. If you purchased a festival pass or a day pass, or if you are a digital scholarship participant, there are links and passwords to the pass pages in your Eventbrite confirmation email. If, however, you are an in-person scholarship participant, you received a page with these links and passwords by email from Zoe. And if you purchased entry to classes or concerts or workshops a la carte on an individual basis, please look at the individual Eventbrite confirmation emails for all the necessary details. And notice that you should scroll down to the bottom of that email to see these details. Secondly, a word about the course materials. These materials are all online and you should receive links to access them in the registration confirmation when you signed up, or these links are also available on the pass pages. And finally, I'll just add that the Zoom links that you received from us are for you and you only. So we ask that you please don't share them around. That is really all I wanted to say this morning. So I pass it on to Bob Blacksburg.
Time to speak. I'm Bob Blacksburg. I have been part of the technology team that has created and promoted these Zoom experiences for us now for the third year. It feels a lot more familiar now than it did in 2020, when we seemed to be inventing every moment. When I'm not a Zoom leader, I also chair the board of KlezKanada. So KlezKanada is part of my life pretty much every day of the year. We welcome you to the online version of KlezKanada this year. Again, if you're coming back, and anew if you're here for the first time. There are things we want to do to help make your experience as effective as possible for you and for all of those who are participating. For those who haven't had practice at this before, or who want to get their Zoom skills up a bit, we do offer a technical workshop orientation on Thursday evening. I believe the time is 7 Eastern, but I'm pretty sure of that. It's pretty informal. It's an opportunity to see things like how do you make that shared screen not so big so that you can see the other participants at the same time that there's screen sharing going on. So we can go over those kind of details. One of the ways that we make Zoom work for this program is that every session has a Zoom host. That person admits people to the room, keeps an eye on what's going on, assists the presenter in what they're doing. That allows the presenters to use as much of the time as possible conducting the class. And we try very much not to have Zoom sessions in which we're spending a lot of time of I can't see you, I can't hear you, and the other kinds of things that many of us experience in Zoom sessions. They are also our etiquette managers. I'll talk a little bit more about what is etiquette, and they are our protectors in case of something untoward happening. They're a nice group of volunteers. They've all had some practice doing this, and I'm sure you'll enjoy their presence. Etiquette. It works best if you come to sessions on time. These are short sessions, and you'll get the most out of it if you're not coming late. It can be a little disruptive especially in an individual teaching session, to have people coming into the session late. But of course, you'll be admitted when you come. The big repeating the advice, unmute only when you're speaking or playing. Stay muted at all other times. Background noise tends to disrupt the session, and given Zoom's technology, also can interrupt the sound from the person who's presenting. So be careful to stay muted. Just general civility. Act responsibly, act communally in what you say, and especially in your use of the chat. It is somewhat tempting to speak your mind in chat, and sometimes that's fully appropriate, and other times perhaps you might want to leave subjects that are off topic to some other place, so as not to interrupt the flow or distract the people who are participating. The Zoom hosts do have the power to shut things off if for some reason there is a Zoom bomber or other behavior that's disruptive to the session. There will be live transcription turned on in every program. It's in English. The Zoom host will mention that it's there, and there's a way to turn it on or not show it if you wish. The live transcription of foreign languages can be quite amusing, but it can be helpful. All programs are recorded, and if you choose not to be in a recording, you may choose to turn your video off. That is more appropriate in the lecture kind of session. In the sessions where there's a lot of interaction, as mentioned before, keeping your video on helps the instructors work properly. I want to invite everybody who's watching to join us during the lunch hour. We have a virtual dining hall, and it's a nice place to schmooze. One of the things we miss online is just the casual opportunities to talk to each other, and we try our best to make them happen there. Those are some of the things that are coming. We're here to answer your questions. I'll be around most of the time, but tracking through that info at KlezKanada to get through to us if you have difficulties or you need technical help during the program. So with that, I'm turning it over to Asa.
Thank you, Bob. So hi, everyone. My name is Asa Brunijai, and I'm the Communications Associate at KlezKanada. Today, I'm going to tell you how to reach me and the rest of the home office team during the digital intensive. So we're here to make sure that you have the best experience possible. So you can get in touch with us to answer any and all of your questions before or during the retreat. Now, Uri went over this briefly, but before I discuss how you can contact us, I'm going to go over how to register for sessions at the digital intensive, since it's something that we often get questions about. So I want to be extra clear. So as with the last 2 years, there are 2 ways to register for the digital intensive: individual, aka a la carte registration, or passes. So the full festival pass, household pass, or the day passes, which will give you access either to the whole digital intensive or a specific day of your choice. So for individual sessions, as you can see on the screen, after you pay for a session on Eventbrite, you receive an automated confirmation email. And in this email, you have to scroll all the way down to a very important section, additional information. And this section at the bottom of your email has all the information you need to access your Zoom links. So when you click the link in this section, as you can see on the screen, you'll be brought to a form that you can fill out now or later to receive access to the Zoom room for your session. And so similarly, if you bought a full festival pass or a day pass, you have to scroll down to that very same additional information section. And you'll find, as you can see in the images, a link to go to the different pass pages. So you'll have the pass page links either for all the days or for the specific day you registered for, and then the passwords to access the events on each day. So once you've clicked one of those days, put in the password, there will be a list of all the programming for that day. You'll just click the class you want, and it'll take you to that same Zoom form to fill out now or later. And then that will give you access to the Zoom room. And then just so you know, a very, very useful page for all participants is the FAQs page. This is where we've accumulated a ton of different questions and answers we've gotten in the last many years. So definitely check that out if you have any questions. And if you can't find any answers on the FAQs, here are some ways to contact us. So you can always contact us by going to KlezKanada.org and then clicking the Contact Us tab in the menu. During the digital intensive, there will also be a big neon Don't Panic button, as you can see on the slide. That will be on our website. So if you're panicking about something, don't panic, click the button on our website, and that will take you to ways to contact us with your questions. And then, as Christian mentioned, for general queries such as changing classes during the digital, you can email us at info@klezkanada.org. And for any specifically tech-related questions, such as issues with Zoom, you can email us at support@klezkanada.org. We will also have a tech support hotline for urgent tech-related questions. So the number is right on the screen there. So you can call us there during the digital retreat if something urgent is coming up and you need to contact us immediately. And then lastly, you will be able to find all the updates about the digital intensive on our official KlezKanada Facebook page, as well as on the community Facebook group, KlezKanada Connection. We're excited to see everything that you're getting up to during the digital intensive. So if you share things on social media or in the KlezKanada Connection group, feel free to use hashtag KlezKanada27, which we're using this year for all our social media as well. So thank you very much. I'm going to turn over the baton or the microphone to Joanna, who will discuss, who's the digital ombudsperson this summer, and she will discuss that. Hi, Joanna.
Hi. So of course, we're really delighted to see you online this year, and we hope and trust that you'll have a great couple of days, 2.5 days, creating community during the session. My name's Joanna, and I'll be working as the ombudsperson. So although we hope that everything will go great, just in case there's a any issues. That's what my role is during the retreat, the digital retreat. And something that we've worked on a lot over the last years. I'm really happy to be back now. This is the 4th time I'm working on the team. And throughout that time, we've worked really a lot on the idea of kind of creating community and how to create community, both in person and also online, with respect and sort of good ways of interaction. And we have community guidelines that we've worked on, and I really warmly invite you to take a look at these. They can be found on our website under the Summer Retreat tab. And just in case, as I said, we really hope that you have a great time, but if any issues arise during the digital intensive, it's really important for us that there's a very clear mechanism to deal with them. So if anything happens and you want to talk it through, or you feel uncomfortable, particularly if there's any personal or interpersonal issues that you feel contravene the code of conduct, then you're very welcome, and we invite you to contact me if it's during the digital intensive. And you can do this either via the email, or there's also an anonymous form. And you have the option there for anonymous contact, and it will also be fully confidential. The only people who would have access to that are myself and the ombudsperson for the in-person retreat. So as I said, we really wish you a great time during the digital intensive. The last couple of years, it's been great, and I'm sure it will be this year. But just in case there's anything that you want to talk about, I am there for that purpose. And I guess I will hand back to Avia.
Thanks, Joanna. So I want to thank everyone for coming to the orientation, checking out the orientation. We love it when you problem solve for yourselves, but we are here to help you problem solve. This is part of community care for us, and we're really excited to have you all here from all over the world. So thank you, everyone, and we'll see you at the digital intensive.